Sticks and stones may break my bones, but let me tell you what words can do. The dance studio was my happy place, but at just 10 years old, things started to change. It went from being my favorite place to being the place where I was tormented day in and day out. My best friend, or so I thought, became my bully. At first, I thought it would stop, but it didn't. Those days became weeks, which became months. Eventually, it was a whole year. Dance, my passion, my joy, became the place I felt the most broken. After months of being body shamed, I began to believe her words. The way I saw myself shifted in a terrible way, and I began to try and change myself, hoping the harassment would stop. My whole life flipped upside down. My feelings were bruised, my confidence was shattered, and I began to try and disappear into a thinner body. I began to starve myself. I developed a life-threatening eating disorder. Christmas Day of 2023, I hit rock bottom. I remember collapsing into my mom's arms, crying, praying that the moment would set me free. By then, the eating disorder had already taken over. Crippling anxiety consumed me. I became too weak to dance. I was placed on bed rest. I was hospitalized to save my life. I then spent 6 months in treatment and was forced to homeschool while my world closed in. For a kid who loves her teachers and being at school, this was devastating. It was the hardest season of my life, but it's also where I learned how to love myself again. And I realized something else. Getting to that point was preventable. If only I had felt seen, if only I had felt safe, if only I had felt supported earlier. That's why I'm here today. A 2021 study led by Dr. David Rickwood and published by the National Institute of Health found that less than 2/3 of young people with mental health challenges ever get the professional help they need. That doesn't need to be you. Getting help can be scary, but I've learned a lot about what to do if you're struggling. First, notice shifts in your mood, sleep, motivation, or even energy. That's a sign that something might be off. Next, talk to someone you trust. Honesty matters more than perfect words. Then, get support from professionals and resources that help you to heal. And lastly, be gentle with yourself. Progress isn't always linear, but every step forward counts. For me, it was a messy process, but it was on my path to recovery that I found my voice. Countless hours of therapy will do that for you. As part of my healing journey, I got involved with organizations that encouraged me to speak up, like Advent Health Hospital's Be a Mind Leader campaign. The National Alliance for Eating Disorders reminded me of something that I will never forget. I wasn't invisible, I wasn't alone. And most importantly, my story could be someone else's survival guide. My pastor put it this way: my mess matters. And it can make a difference in the lives of those struggling. Turns out sharing your story doesn't just help others heal, it helps you heal too. That realization changed everything for me. Hurt people hurt people, but healed people heal people. I wanted to break the cycle. I wanted to lead with kindness, even when it wasn't easy. I wanted to teach others how to be proactive instead of reactive. Leading with kindness doesn't have to be big or complicated. can look like standing up for the girl everyone whispers about in class, inviting the kid who eats lunch alone to sit with you. It's speaking life instead of repeating gossip. Kindness is not weakness. Kindness is leadership, and it takes courage to choose it, especially when others don't. When we choose kindness and courage, we create communities where all kids feel seen, safe, and supported. So how do we do this? I use 3 simple questions. How can I help you feel seen? How can I help you feel safe? How can I help you feel supported? Even small actions make a big difference. In 2001, researchers Deborah Pepler and Wendy Craig studied hundreds of real-life bullying situations on school playgrounds. What they found was powerful. They found that when kids step in, bullying often stops within seconds, over half the time. Imagine if we didn't wait until it started. Imagine if we led with kindness first. And this isn't just for kids. It's for parents, family members, teachers, preachers, coaches, and even bosses too. Remember that kids don't just listen, they copy. It's caught, not taught. Model the kindness and courage you want them to live. Be mindful that you create cultures every single day. Decide if others feel safe to show up as themselves. That year at the dance studio almost broke me, but it also gave me my mission. So here's my challenge to you. Before you speak, before you post, before you coach, before you joke, pause. Consider the impact of your words. Ask yourself, am I building someone up or am I tearing someone down? When you see someone struggling, ask, how can I help you feel seen? How can I help you feel safe? How can I help you feel supported? Because while hurt people, healed people heal people. Be the person who breaks the pattern. Be the person who chooses kindness. Be the person who changes how others experience life. Because the best part about all this is that it is 100% in our control. How we act and react can truly change the world, and together we can stop bullying before it starts. Thank you.